Hi again. Hey, right now we're going to introduce you to Autodesk's Fusion 360. I have an educational license on this, like I do on my Inventor. I use both, basically because, well, they're very, very similar. Inventor came first, and Fusion came later, and Fusion's really good for a lot of things. Um, it does a lot of the same stuff that Inventor does. A lot of the same tools. You're going to see the same icons. Like you'll look over here, you'll notice our cube, our navigation cube's the same. If you come down here, you'll see our rotational cubes and stuff are very similar here. If I open up some of my folders here, you can see what's in there. Uh, I've created a lot of things in here just to illustrate what's going on. It's very similar to what you're used to and functions a lot the same way. Now, one thing I do need to point out, I'm going to close this. So that's my close my data panel. So I'll just hit that and it closes. My navigator bar is built right on top of my drawing surface, and my drawing surface defaults to white. I haven't changed that at all. So when I'm designing, I work a lot the same way as I do in Inventor. So if you can function in Inventor, you can function in Fusion. There's not that big a difference. Mostly it's this, I think, takes up a little less space, and then when we get to mating parts or constraining parts together, I prefer Inventor, honestly, because I'm used to it. But it works nearly the same way. You just got to decide on where nodes things go. So let's stop. I'm going to make a cube just like I did last time. I'll show you how that works. So when I want to sketch, right here is my create a sketch button. And I click on it. Okay, create a sketch. I have to decide on a plane. So I've got my XY planes, I got my Z plane here. So I'm just going to click on this plane right here, which will turn it front facing to me. As soon as it processes, come on. There we go. So I got my front plane up. Now, my bars will show up and I can create construction lines and I can tell it to look at things and sketch down the grid. I really don't care if the grid's there or not, honestly. Snaps drive me crazy because it's always trying to snap you to the grid. But to do this, I can simply come down here and I can snap right there on that origin. I can come up and over and it will go to 1 inch exactly if I tell it to. Like literally, if I tell it to turn the snap on, it forces me to go to that 1 inch by 1 inch. Okay. If you're good with that, great. But sometimes it just gets in the way. So I'm just going to function like that. Once I've got my sketch done just like before, I can hit the finish sketch. And I think I've logged up my computer too much. And I think it just froze that screen. There we go. You all saw that. So now I've got a sketch. I can tell it to go, okay, let's extrude it. And it's going to think about it for a second. Where's my sketch here? It's that surface right there. It's the only surface I got. How far do I want it to go? Well, I can literally grab the arrow right here. I can just type in 1 and then press enter. And it makes a 1 inch cube, just like before. So it's very similar to what you see. I just roll my mouse wheel to zoom and pan, push it down to pan, roll it to zoom in and out, and wherever my cursor's over is where it's going to zoom to. I can pick surfaces and edges to work on. I can modify shapes. I can shell them out. You name it. It's pretty straightforward and easy as you get going, and it works really, really simply. So if you're looking at it, one thing you might want to learn at home is Fusion. It will make your life quite easy. Now, saving it. You can save in the cloud. You have to log into your account to save. So when I hit the save right here, and I'm just going to call this like example cube. It's going to go in my first projects. Okay. And that's literally on my machine right now. Okay. So it's just saving there. And see, it keeps a version count of it. It automatically keeps a version count. So if I go back in here and look at it, I'm just going to pop this open. See, there's my example cube. Notice how some of these have more than one version on them? So there's multiple versions depending on when I saved it. Okay. So as I'm looking down this, I can pick which version of it I want. I can look at the times and the dates. So it's got some real good pieces that we can attach to this. Right here, you'll notice open on the web. It's web enabled. So it works really easy and really well. Like I said, at first I was anti Fusion because it's like, okay, it's a stripped down version of Inventor. I really don't think that's exactly true. It's a different set of tools for different projects, and it works really well. So as you're looking at it, all the different people have them. We'll see this when we go over to SketchUp in a bit. You'll see it when we go over to SolidWorks, because I've got a few different accounts. I honestly am more concerned about being able to sketch it and to work and design the parts than anything else. So figure out what works best for you. This will export to STLs and OBJs so that we can print it if we want. Um, I hate some of these tools. I never do use the creative form, by the way. But anything you look at here, yeah, you've got the same tools as we have in Inventor. All right. We got boundary fills. In fact, we got some other tools that we can use. So I love this. I need to figure out this create 3D PCB. That will make my life in electronics much easier. But that's one of the courses I teach. So as we're looking at it, let's take your time, find out what works for you. Like I said, they're free for right now, so use what you need. Okay. Thanks for your time. Bye.